ridiculous beard. Going to be a good one today, buddy.
It's
Victory Monday.
You like that? You like that?
War Week begins.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never to sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
That's right, it's your opportunity. This is the Main Event Football Show on the Villain Squad Network, October 28th. Halloween's almost over, and I can almost ready to shave this ridiculous beard off. Welcome to the program. It is the Main Event Football Show on the Villain Squad Network, brought to you by NFLShop.com. The Villain Squad Network is an official marketing partner of NFLShop.com. There is a link in the comments for you. You can click on that or scan the QR code on your screen and save up to 30% off when you leverage the power of the villain before November 1st. Get you some new NFL swag, NFLShop.com. We are broadcasting live on the Villain Squad Network into Facebook. That is Lions Villain Squad. Please follow the page if you're not already. Also broadcasting live into, there we go, 56,000 followers now on the Villain Squad. Thank you to all. Also broadcasting live into Detroit Lions News Podcast. 77,000 viewers there. Thanks to Joe Chapp and the boys for letting us broadcast in there. You can also find us on YouTube at Villain Squad, also at JC Sports on YouTube. And we're broadcasting live into Roku TV on the Huddle Sports Network. Welcome to the program, everyone. Today, we are going to bask in the glow of that beautiful 52-14 victory over the Tennessee Titans. We are going to relish in the 4 turnovers. A goal line stand. Also, that resulted in a turnover on down. So we're going to relish in those 5 turnovers that the Lions produced in the game. And we are going to happily trot you through the incredible 5 touchdowns by different scorers, 6 different people on the team scoring touchdowns. And we're going to talk about all that. And we're just going to love it. And we're going to just sunshine and rainbows. But wait, we're also not going to let the Lions off the hook where there were deficiencies. We're going to call them out today. Sure, 52-14, it looks like a blowout, but this team, Jared Goff only had 85 yards passing. We just ran the ball. Special teams dominated this game, and it mitigated the deficiencies that the defense had, and we're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about some interesting trade rumors and something interesting that happened today at Dan Campbell's press conference. And we're going to break it to you as well. Also, this is War Week, folks. The Lions weren't the only team to win last week. It was also the Green Bay Packers that won as well, beating Jacksonville. They were on the road and pulled out the victory. Malik Willis came in and engineered the last drive to set them up for a game-winning field goal. This team is no joke, and this is War Week. We are definitely going to look ahead to this game at the end of the program. We want you to put your comments in. We want to hear your opinion. Join the conversation. Put your comment in, and we will try to read them. Let's say hi to all the villains today. We got John K. in the house, the bad guy. What's up? Davey is here as well. Good evening, Dwayne Keene. Also, we love to read Dwayne's comments. Let's go, Detroit Lions. Kings of the North Division champion title, all grit, never back down, 6-1. Indeed, 6-1. The NFC North reigning champions. You know what? Those Green Bay Packers are 6-2, and they're going to be at home next week, and we are going to talk about that. Frank the Tank on the program. Thanks for being here, Frank. Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell do not care about records. True that. Donkey Kong in the house. Lions Super Bowl or bust, fools. I love it. Jonathan, what is up? Frank the Tank. Jordan in the house. Hey, guys, Victory Monday again. That's right, again. This is my favorite kind of Mondays is Victory Mondays. Frank says the music sucks. Can't please all the people all the time. Frank, it's art. All right, here we go. That's it. Put your comments in. We'll try to say hello to you. Elise Memes in the house, the queen of memes. Be sure to check out her page. The champ is here. What up, villains? Dan Campbell's excited for something. Can't wait to see what they're cooking up. Yeah, we are going to talk about that. You know what? Let's not even waste any more time. Let's just talk about that right now. Dan Campbell in his press conference today at the 6-minute and 42 mark of the video. Oh, look, our awesome producer has this lined up for us right here, folks. Let me give him a little lead in here, Maestro, and then go ahead and play the video. Dan Campbell was asked, is something imminent on the trade front in the next 24 hours? You can't hear it because it's almost inaudible. I had to rewind it a bunch of times to hear what the reporter asked him. But this is it, quote, is something imminent on the trade front in the next 24 hours? And let's watch Dan Campbell's reaction and tell me what you take away from it.
24 hours, nothing that Brad's come to you with.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, could be.
What do you think of
Smiles, cut. Pause right there.
Yeah, it could be.
Or don't. So, you could see that he grabbed his chest when asked, is something on the horizon? Is something imminent? He holds both hands to his chest. This is a response you can't control, folks. This is him. He has something inside that he is not allowed to say. We're still a week away from the trade deadline. He can't say yet. The question is something imminent on the trade front in the next 24 hours. He smiles, says, yeah, could be. And then everyone laughs. And then the reporter follows up and says, no, seriously, has he come to you with something? At that point, he clutches his chest again, jumps up and down like an excited child, and says, yeah, could be. Now, is he just smoke screening us here, folks? Or is this something? Look, one thing I know in 30 years of management is I know people and I know their reactions. And this, to me, is a very good sign that there is something on the horizon. It's not a practice squad player from the Bengals. It is not Harold Landry from the Titans. It is not. It is something big, folks. I was not a believer at all in any of these big splash trades. It's just not Brad's MO. But now I have real hope after this reaction from Dan Campbell that something is going to happen. We were on the Villain Report this morning at 10 a.m. talking with Russell Wayne about, do you expect something to happen right away? I do not. This is how it happens every year. The trade deadline is still a week away. These are preliminary discussions now. There are some moves here and there, but for the most part, the shrewd negotiators wait till the very end, and they aren't the first ones to talk. They wait. If you give me an offer, I'm not going to take that offer a week from the trade deadline. Sure, they probably could have got more than a fifth rounder for DeAndre Hopkins, but they're making moves early to get room. Things like that is the exception, not the rule. Look for something to get done here. And with this reaction from Dan Campbell, let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Are you as excited as I am about this, or is this nothing? Is this main event Mike just being a homer? And this is really nothing. But let's watch it again, Russ. Let's watch this reaction by Dan Campbell.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, maybe. Smile. No,
That
seriously.
was
The guy says,
part.
seriously. Go ahead.
So has he come to you with something that you?
Yeah, it could be.
Can't tell. I want to tell, but I
Bite a
can't.
kneecap off.
Man, he did some things for us. You know, that he
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. Our producer, the man behind the glass, is Mr. Russell Wayne. Russell Wayne, what do you make of Dan Campbell's reaction to being asked, is there something imminent maybe in the next 24 hours?
Well, I mean, look at it. Look at it. I mean, we're staring at it, and there it is. I mean, look at his reaction. Here.
yeah, it could be.
Okay, he's trying to hold it in.
Could be.
Yep. Now press him a little
What do you
bit.
think of Muhammad yesterday?
Oh, we're gonna press you. What do you think?
Yeah,
Oh,
could be.
yeah. He's a little kid, Mike. Hey, he can't even hold it.
I know.
Can't even hold it in. There is something 100%. They're going to announce something here over the next, I mean, before the Green Bay game. Obviously, they want to get this thing done, whatever it is. But who could be that somebody that would make Dan Campbell to jump up and down like that?
Right.
Who is?
It's not Harold Landry. It's not Josh Uche.
I mean, Harold Landry, I mean, gosh, man, you're like the third person that's just kind of like, yeah, that'd be nice. It's like, this dude is a dude. He's got like 49 sacks or something like that. I mean, the dude, that don't suck. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he would get that excited. I'm watching that over there, and I don't know if Harold Landry makes a guy do this right here. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. See, some other reporter tried to inject a question about Muhammad, the practice squad defensive end, and the other reporter just jumped in there and said, no, seriously, has he come to you with something, unquote. And that's when he jumped up and down, disregarded the other question, jumped up and down, grabbed his chest and said, yeah, could be. And then immediately answered the other question that had been dismissed about Muhammad. He was able to deflect it because that other reporter jumped in with something else for him to defer to, and nobody could really press him on that. There were some great other highlights from that press conference as well. He addressed the fourth down stand just before the half and how huge that was for the Lions not to have to kick it off to Tennessee after just scoring before the half. That really quelled their momentum. He talked about Shane Zylstra, which is something Russ and I talked about during the game. Wow, look at Zylstra. Dang, look at Zylstra on the coverage team. And he had to get some playing time because Rodrigo went down with an ankle injury early, and he showed out. And Dan Campbell, like always, points out even the small bit role players and the contributions that they make. He called out a lot of people. We did get an update on Rodrigo's sprained ankle. It looks like he'll be out for week 9 against Green Bay, but it's nothing too serious, and he should be back week 10. Dan Campbell did say in his press conference yesterday after the game, we did not play our cleanest ball. You scored 52 points. You only allowed 14, but yet nobody's, going rah-rah and jumping up and down. One of the first things out of his mouth, we did not play our cleanest ball. A lot of things to clean up yet. Well, 5 for 5 in the red zone, that's not one of them. And 4 turnovers, that's not one of them. They did great in some of those areas. The kicking game on both ends, Jack Fox punting and Jake Bates kicking. Jake Bates remains perfect on the year, minus 1 extra point that he missed. And Jack Fox continues to be a total weapon on an all-pro clip, a historic NFL all-time clip. Jack Fox yesterday, 5 punts, an average of 61 yards, 61.4 yards to be exact. He had a 67-yard punt as well. Pro Bowl players all over this team, and they were really showing out on special teams. The player of the game, probably going to win our Villain of the Week award this week, was Khalif Raymond. He got the game ball from Dan Campbell, and Khalif Raymond just went on and on. Dan Campbell went on and on about Khalif Raymond. He said, I could be here all day. He said, quote, he's the best. What a pro he is, unquote. Khalif Raymond was the first Detroit Lion to have a kickoff return touchdown and a receiving touchdown in the same game in franchise history in that game. And Dan Campbell really laid it on his appreciation for what a great player Khalif Raymond is. He's always been one of the favorites here at the Villain Squad. I know that much for sure. Russ, you got anything to add to that stuff before we jump into the comments?
No, go ahead. Jump into the comments.
Jordan says, they say not to overlook any opponents. Guess we could have overlooked the Titans just a little bit. Absolutely, Jordan. This game was wedged between Minnesota and Green Bay, and the team is 1-6, 1-5, at the time. Very easy to look past these Titans. And to some extent, we didn't dominate on defense, and we are going to talk about that. Ken Fisher's in the house. Scotty Reno says, hey, all. Manuel in the house. Manuel, we will put them to the test. Russell's in the backyard. I don't understand that one. Bruce says forward down the field. What up, LM in the house? Elise says body language is everything. You're so right. These are the uncontrollable responses like blinking and sneezing. We can't control it. And it looks like Dan Campbell has an even harder time controlling an old poker face himself. Frank says, what you got to also remember when Dan Campbell said, if you want to watch these games, you better wear a diaper. Woo-hoo! Jeffrey Addison, president and accountant for a super villain in the house. And Skip Smith in the house says, Motor City Dan Campbell about to get his early Christmas present. Ooh, we love it. War week coming. So, Russell, what do you got to say about this 52-14 win over the Titans? We go 6-1. We're the number 1 seed in the NFC now. Before we close the book and look ahead to the Packers, what's your, like Jerry freaking Springer, man, what's your final thoughts on this game?
My final thoughts. I mean, I don't know. It was total domination. The defense. I mean, I know that we're kind of critical on what happened at the beginning, but it seemed like they turned it off. Like they were like, there's where you're trying to do it, and then they're like, no, and then they played so well that the offense quit, like somewhere in the middle of the third quarter. And they were down by a lot, but special teams, man, it's so underrated. But 190 some odd yards in special team. I mean, you're starting your field position from the red zone. Like, I mean, that's crazy to think about that. But then, Goff was Goff. What was he, like 12 for 15 for like 80 yards? Like, you got David Montgomery throwing touchdown passes. I mean, it's kind of like they turned it into a clown show again. David Montgomery, Mount Healthy High School, Cincinnati, Ohio, threw 4 touchdowns in one game, won a state championship. Nothing out there. dropping dimes. Yeah.
Are you likening David Montgomery to Al Bundy?
Well, that's what he's probably like. He's like Jared Goff's like, okay, you can throw a pass. No, I used to play in high school.
I used to play quarterback.
I was a quarterback in high school. I don't know if you knew that.
I could throw this football over that mountain.
Hey, but he threw a dime, man. That wasn't
did.
a throw. That wasn't like the Amon-Ra throw where he kind of floated it in there. That one had some velocity on it.
It did. It was a tight spiral, and it had some zip on it, and it was right on the money where only his receiver could catch it. Such a good call. But your call out on the special teams is huge. Even Khalil Dorsey with a kick return, 72-yard kick return. And then, of course, Khalif Raymond with 5 punt returns, 190 yards, including a beauty for 90 yards and a touchdown. A highlight reel for sure. When you get that kind of production from the special teams, like you said, the Tennessee offense seemed to clock out.
Unbelievable. Hey, here's the secret. Like, the less passes that Jared Goff throws, the more points they score. It's like, it's amazing. You get out there and get a little run game on there. It's like, I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's one of the best running backs that's out there. But that blocking was so good. I don't even know if anybody touched him on that. He was like, thank gosh, he's really, really fast, Mike. Like 22 mile an hour out the gate, like right up. Nobody touched him. And that's the offensive line's like, nope, get out the way. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to come through and score a touchdown. Yep, there he is, Sonic.
What a run that was, too. A 70-yarder, never got touched. Just turned on the jets, and no one was going to catch him. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries, 127 yards, and a touchdown, including that gem of a 70-yarder. And man, you're right, Russ. The Titans they probably just couldn't wait to get out of the half, right? That half would just never seem to end. Whoop, another touchdown. Whoop, another touchdown. Whoop, another touchdown. And then when they came out in the third quarter and exploded again, that's the point where they had to say, you know what, let's just get on the plane and go back to Tennessee.
Right. And you could see it. Like, you can see it in their demeanor. Now, the defense, they got some defenders over there. The defense was a little bit harder to break. Like, they lasted a couple more series. I think they got into the fourth quarter before they really gave up.
And it should be noted they were without their best player, L'Jarius Sneed, an all-pro corner who wasn't in. That's really huge. And the Tennessee Titans did generate 4 sacks against the Detroit Lions offensive line. So the defense was no joke. They were rated number 1 in total defense in the league coming into the game, and we dropped a 52 burger on them. So it should be noted that L'Jarius Sneed wasn't there. However, the Lions, it's time to talk about the sad truth that there wasn't a lot of pressure put on Mason Rudolph. And 5 quarterback hits and only 1 sack. And you know what? The 1 sack was a blown blocking assignment. Alex Anzalone came in completely unabated right to the quarterback. That was the only sack we got. And that's not going to cut it against some of the better teams, like the Green Bay Packers, who we will be playing next Sunday at Lambeau Field for first place in the division. The Green Bay Packers and the Lions, the game opens as the Lions favored by 3.5 points. And we're going to talk about this matchup right here in a minute. Right now, we're going to talk about, we're going to go to the comments and see who we got in here. Leo says, so I hope it is Max Crosby. Maybe it is. It's going to be something big. That would make you jump up and down if it was Max Crosby. Ken says that's called the Crosby hop. I love that. Yeah, Josh Uche is now off the table because Kansas City Chiefs signed him today. So that's not even a name to throw out like there anymore.
For Josh Uche. I'm sorry.
We do know now who the defensive end is going to be. It's going to be Jeffrey Addison. He says the cat's out of the bag. Thanks, Dan. I'll be suiting up to play defensive end for the Detroit Lions. That doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy, Jeffrey, unfortunately. Buddy in the house. That giggle and jump from Dan has so many Lions fans going crazy about a big move, and I'm one of them, buddy. I am one of them.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
Anthony put up a whole bunch of stuff. I can't read it all right at the moment, but thanks for being on the show, Anthony.
4 years ago.
I got the beard for it.
You got it. You got it, man. Make the speech. Make it
Okay.
happen.
All right, I'm a speed reader, Anthony. You're in luck. He's a straightforward cat. He doesn't want to lie, so he didn't confirm or deny. Exactly right. He's inherently honest, Anthony. Absolutely right. And that's what makes that an unemotional and uncontrollable response. If he were a smooth liar, he'd have never done that. Absolutely right. It's obvious they are in the middle stages of getting a deal done with a premier player. Exactly. The middle stages. We're still a week away. As the head coach, he's excited his team is still winning and winning big without his best defensive player. Another great call out. We saw Aiden Hutchinson on the Jumbotron for just a few seconds and the crowd went bananas. Most reports I've heard is that was the loudest moment they ever heard Ford Field when they showed him on the team. And just that energized the whole stadium. His actions suggest that this is going to be big for the team and make the Lions go from favorites to go to Super Bowl favorites to win the Super Bowl no matter who they play from the AFC. Go Lions. Well, Anthony, I am glad that I did read that entire War and Peace novel that you wrote there because there were many good takes laden throughout it. Thank you so much for that.
The champ is here.
Jerome, our good friend, is in the comments. He says, so you guys got some news? What's going on with the Lions? Did I miss something? All you missed, Jerome, is a bunch of nothing at this point. But Dan Campbell was asked if there was a trade for defensive end on the horizon, and he wouldn't say yes, but he got giddy and jumped up and down like a child. If you didn't see it, you can watch it right here because we have the best producer on the internet, Russell Wayne.
Man, he
24 hours, nothing but Brad's come to you with.
yeah, could be. Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be.
That smile.
No, seriously, though, has he come to you with something that you?
Yeah, could be.
I can't tell. That is what you missed, Jerome. That's what everyone is talking about. Hey, peoples, what's for dinner on this Revenge Thanksgiving? I think we're having bear. We're having roasted bear, Detroit fan man, is what we're having on Thanksgiving. Roy Bradow says it's Zadarius Smith. Roy always has a great take. I trust Roy when he talks. Zadarius Smith. Does that give you clutch my chest and jump up and down vibes, Russell?
Well, it doesn't do it to me. I don't know. It might do it to Dan Campbell. I don't know who he likes. But no, maybe Myles Garrett. Maybe a different Brown. Myles Garrett would make me jump up and down like that.
I think Zadarius Smith would be. I think Zadarius Smith would be the floor that would make Lions fans happy. They have to get someone. Everyone knows you got to go get somebody at this point. Our defensive ends are falling off like flies. They're starting to just call us Detroit because there is no DE in Detroit. No defensive ends in Detroit. So we saw James Houston get manhandled. We're bringing guys off the practice squad. Now, I don't think the sky is falling because all the rest of the players are picking it up. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and that's when the PFF grades come out. You can join right here on this network, right where you're watching right now, and watch Lions Villain Report hosted by Russell Wayne. It's PFF Tuesday. You're going to see some awesome PFF scores from defensive players, and it's going to surprise you. You're going to see great PFF scores from the entire defensive line and the defensive line players. Even though the box score might seem thin, these guys were doing, and this is what PFF is good for, grading things beyond the box score. A defensive tackle who eats up space, it doesn't make a tackle, but he's taking up two blockers. There has to be a way to quantify that. There has to be a way, and that's what PFF is good for. Ali McNeil was a beast yesterday. A total beast, especially in the first half. Though you might not see it in the box score, I predict his PFF score will be through the roof tomorrow. Join the Villain Report tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and find out. Russell Wayne will take you all the way through it. Skip Smith says if it was Crosby or Garrett, he'd be dancing in traffic. Leo thinks it's either Garrett or Crosby, something like that, big enough to make Dan Campbell have that response. But he says, I say it's Smith and Walker. Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, I'm not.
Look, that would not hurt my feelings. Z has had some good games against the Lions. He's been a Lions killer in the past. I would be okay with Darius Smith.
That doesn't feel like that doesn't feel like anything to me, Mike. That doesn't feel like what I saw right there. That's not what I saw right there. I didn't see Zadarius Smith and Walker right there. What Zadarius Smith and Walker sounds like what some fantasy football owner wants to trade me a 2-for-1 for one of my studs. Like, and you're like, yeah, I'll give you Smith and Walker. And like, no, I want the stud.
Mm-hmm.
That was a dance that we're about ready to get a stud.
Yeah.
A stud, a bona fide Super Bowl contending stud. So there's only a couple players that fit that bill that I think that even could be available. Maybe it's a surprise and it's Trey Hendrickson or somebody off the beaten path too.
But I'll tell you what, Zadarius Smith is a frontline starter. He's better than anyone else that we have out there right now to play defensive end. I would be happy if that was the mid-tier play. They call him bargain bin Brad. If he goes to the bargain bin, I would take Zadarius Smith and be happy with that. And have the rest of these guys have to increase their play. But I agree with you, Russ. That didn't look like a Zadarius Smith happy dance to me.
I mean, would you dance like that for Zadarius Smith? We'll ask the people that are out there.
I might do a woo.
Yeah,
but I certainly wouldn't do it. No.
I mean, Zadarius Smith would make me go. Like, Zadarius Smith might make me raise my eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
I raise my eyebrow for Zadarius Smith, but I ain't dancing nothing for Zadarius Smith. Okay. Oh, okay. I might even shake my head and I might agree with that. But jump. Like he wants to tell like a little kid in a candy store. He wants to one on top shelf. Got to have an adult get it for him. Like who danced?
Who danced, Harpazzo? It was Dan Campbell danced when he was asked if there is a trade imminent in the next 24 hours. He did a little happy dance and said, could be. First he said, yeah. Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be.
Look at that smile.
No, seriously, though, has he come to you with something that you...
No, it's something. See him dancing? See, there it is.
Either that's a very happy dance about a big trade that's going to happen, or he hates Detroit Lion fans, because why the hell would you do that? Why the hell would you do that to us, Dan?
Right. Absolutely.
Huge. Yeah, that wasn't a Zadarius Smith dance. Come on, man.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
Don't do that to us, Dan. No.
And Roy says, feels like we don't give up any first round picks. Now hold the phone there, Roy. This is a topic that Russell Wayne's very passionate about. Who are you going to put on this team? Where are they going to go? 7 rounds of draft. There aren't 7 roster spots on this team. There aren't. We could get rid of half of our draft class for a splash player like Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. And we're still going to be the deepest team in the league. Our entire offense is signed through 2027. Our defense only has a few holes here and there. We could get an offensive lineman, maybe another DB, a couple more defensive linemen. But that's it. Everything else is full. Why not give up some future draft capital now? He's been good about not giving it up, and he's built it. He's stuck to his philosophy, which is to build through the draft. But now you're one player away, right, Russ?
Absolutely. I mean, look at this. This is right here is 2026. Who do you have in 2026 right now without spending another dime, right? That's what we're looking at here. You know, it's pretty much the entire offense minus Zeitler is still here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Terrion Arnold, Laporta, Branch, like all these guys are still on the team. And if you want to draft guys, I mean, he's drafted awesome. Brad, you've done such a fantastic job that we have a 3-year window that you can say F them picks. I mean, what are you going to do? Draft 7 players? There isn't 7 roster spots, guys. Like, like, what are we going to do with all these rookies? You know, what we need now at this point is as many proven players. You know, you could draft a defensive end in the first round for 20 years and not find a Myles Garrett. You won't find, I mean, really, it don't FM picks is when you can get a guy like Myles Garrett. If somebody like that is available, that's where you say FM picks. I mean, you might have 10 first round picks, right? Drafting twice in the first round for the next 5 years, and you wouldn't find a Myles Garrett, right? That's why you go, there's 3. Just take that, because these guys, he's done such a good job. We got a whole bunch of guys for the next 4 years that are playing for $1.50, Mike. I mean, already set the foundation has been set that you can make a big move where you trade multiple first round picks. I believe that.
We're going to bite the kneecap off.
I love it. I love it. Roy says Brad won't put all his eggs in one basket. Maybe not. But to get a player like that, you're one player away now. That F them picks thing came from the Rams. They knew that all they needed was a quarterback because McVay and Goff were not going to get it together. They didn't believe in Jared Goff.
Your eggs, Brad. I'm just challenging your thought here, but it's not all your eggs in one basket. It's a couple of eggs. You're throwing a couple of nice eggs that got some like gold trim around them and everything, but still, Brad Holmes has proven that he can pick in the 2nd round and the 3rd round and the 4th round and the 5th round and the 6th round. Like it don't matter. He'll find you the right talent when you need it. So if a player of that quality is available, I mean, Myles Garrett or Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson, those guys are finished products. There's no development. Oh, I wonder what we're going to know. That's what they are. They're going to come in and F shit up. Like that's what they do. And that's what we want.
Trey Hendrickson, a name, a great defensive end from Cincinnati Bengals, might be available. Cincinnati losing yesterday to the Philadelphia Eagles. They lost bad by 20 points. They now have only 2 wins on the season. They might be sellers at the trade deadline. That would be a great player. He's a Pro Bowl caliber player, playing defensive end next to DJ Reader, whom he played with for a few years in Cincinnati. That is definitely a name that would make that would get you to jump up and down and hold your chest. So it's going to be interesting as the trade deadline looms. But guess what comes first? War Week, a game against the Green Bay Packers. Let's talk about it before we run out of time. I definitely want to get back to the comments before this is over. Put it in the comments. Let us know what you think. You're watching the Main Event Football Show hosted by Main Event Mike on the Villain Squad Network, which is brought to you by NFLshop.com. You can save up to 30% between now and November 1st if you leverage the power of the villain and use our code or click our link that's in the comments. You save up to 30%. Also, it helps our page a little, and we really, really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone watching today live. Thank you to everyone who's watching on the recorded version as well. We appreciate all of you, and especially the villains in the chat today. Green Bay Packers come in with 2 losses. Lions come with 1. At Lambeau Field, the game opens with the Lions as a 3.5-point favorite here on Monday. I expect that line may change as we find out more about injuries, especially from the Green Bay Packers. Hasn't been released yet. Jair Alexander limping at the end of the game yesterday. That will be huge if he is not going to play. Jordan Love, the starting quarterback, also not expected to play at this point. They'll have to wait until Thursday and Friday and see if he can practice. But as it is right now, they're saying a knee sprain. They're expecting 2 to 3 weeks minimum for Jordan Love. So that'll be huge. If the Lions have to play Malik Willis, I don't know so much if that helps or hurts our chances because Malik Willis is 2-0 as a starter.
Outstanding.
And he engineered the comeback victory yesterday to win the game. So the tradition of developing quarterbacks continues at Green Bay, and you can't deny it. I don't care who you are. Let's take a quick look here, though. Green Bay, let's look at the defenses. Rushing defense, the Detroit Lions are ranked 5th in the entire league. The Detroit Lions rush defense ranked 5th. The rushing offense for the Green Bay Packers ranks 5th. So you have the 5th best running team against the 5th best against the running team, against the run team. A wash. Let's look at the pass defense. Pass defense, Green Bay ranked 19th in the league. The Detroit Lions ranked 27th in the league in pass defense. So the Lions, with a combined score of 5th against the run and 27th in the pass, get a total defense grade of 20th in the league ranking, I should say. While the Green Bay Packers come in with the 16th ranked defense in the league. So they have a better defense than us. We take a look at the offense. The passing offense, the Detroit Lions are 11th in the league. That's because we're 5th in the league in rushing. We'll have to throw it as much. 11th in the league. The Green Bay Packers, passing offense, 9th in the league. This team is tough, folks. Rushing offense with our the best backs in the league, the best running back duo in the league. The Lions rank 6th in the NFL in rushing offense. The Green Bay Packers, they rank 5th in the league in rushing offense. Their total offensive rank for rushing and passing, they're ranked 5th total offense in the league, while the Detroit Lions are behind them with the 6th best offense in the league. Ranked offense, I should say. So they have a better offense, a better defense, and they're at home. Why are we 3.5-point favorites? Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. I pose this question now to Russell Wayne. Why are we a 3.5-point favorite against a team that ranks higher than us in offense and defense?
Because you're looking at stats. You're not watching the teams play. I mean, you're watching a team that scored 52 points with 90 pass yards in the last
85,
game.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest right here. And I did bring up those, and I'm going over individual scores, but these are team scores on PFF right here. When you're looking at overall, PFF likes the Lions a lot better at 92.2 overall grade. Green Bay Packers at 73.6. Offensively, we're better at 80.1, and they're at 72.8. It's still very good, though. You know, at pass blocking, they're a little bit better than we are, according to PFF. We have better receivers. We are right there. They run the ball a little bit better than we do, according to PFF. We're a way better run blocking. Our defense looks way better than theirs, according to PFF. So I guess PFF, if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, this is one of those times where you're going to go, yeah, PFF, whatever. That doesn't mean nothing. Or you can look at statistical rankings, but that doesn't always tell the whole story. You know, I mean, Jared Goff can't help that he had 6 20-yard fields, you know?
Right.
He scored on all of them, you know. He can't help he started in the red zone, you know.
Right. I mean, if our special team shows out in Lambeau the way they did yesterday, and you know, flipping the field position the way that they're able to with Jack Fox and with Khalif Raymond coming the other way, it's pretty impressive. It's going to be pretty hard to beat. Packers come in at 6-2. They're 3-1 at home and 3-1 on the road. So that's a good team, folks. I like this call out, though, from Ken Fisher, who is saying that these rankings are based on the opponents they've played, and we've had a tougher schedule. Okay, that's fair. We're 5th, or they're 5th, we're 6th. In total, in rushing, they're 5th, we're 6th. So even if you take that into account, the point is still there, Ken, that this team is as good as us, and we've got to realize that. As much as we don't like Green Bay, this team is for real. LaFleur is a bona fide, legit threat calling plays, one of the best in the business.
It's fair.
And you know, it doesn't hurt also that these teams hate each other just to build the drama. The fan bases pretty much hate each other as well. And the last time these two teams met was on Thanksgiving last year. It's too bad they couldn't beat San Francisco in the divisional round. We could have got them for the title in Ford Field. That would have been ideal. The last time we played them in Ford Field, though, on Thanksgiving, and they jumped out all over us. And you know that these teams have had this one circled on the calendar. So far this year, the Detroit Lions have been on the revenge tour. They've avenged losses from last year to Seattle, to Dallas. And they also have hinted, Jared Goff hinted on the radio, that the Green Bay, Chicago also on the list this year as teams that beat them, and they want revenge. So the tensions are going to be high. And you know how Green Bay has been beating people this year? They've been beating them up. When they beat the Houston Texans, they just beat them up. These AFC teams are a bit softer. And they've been beating up their opponents. And that's how the Lions win too. We wear you out. We take you to the fourth quarter out in the deep water and we pound the ball. Well, they can play that game too. It's going to be a great game. It's 3.5. I hope that line goes down. Put it in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say about it. 3.5. You like the Lions on the road giving up 3.5? Or do you think the Lions win in a close one? Or do the Packers pull this one out? Put it in there. Let me know. In regards to Malik Willis or Jordan Love, Jeffrey says, like any good coach, they will make us prepare for 2 QBs. Good call. Roy says the Lions teams have to pass against us because they can't run. Art in the house, maybe Love status as well. Right on. I like this call from Buddy. 3 from the NFC North will make the playoffs. Well, the Minnesota Vikings have a really soft schedule now. They still got to play the Lions one more time. They got to play the Bears twice. They got to play the Packers one more time. But other than that, their schedule's pretty soft, especially the next 4 weeks. The Bears are the toughest opponent they have in the next 4 weeks. So they have 2 losses now. They could reel off 4 wins in a row. They do have Darnold Schwarzenegger on playing quarterback. Darnold's here today, actually. We have Darnold. There he is. What's up, Darnold?
Put the entire city on my back. I'm going to keep on doing it. I'm going to throw the ball. I'm going to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. And now T.J. Hawkinson is back in the fold. You better look out now. Come on. Get on my back, Minneapolis. You can do it. Take my hand. Come on. Come on, do it now. It's my quarterback.
Sam Darnold telling them all to get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
That was Darnold Schwarzenegger, brought to you by NFLShop.com. Jordan in the house says St. Brown got beer poured on him and the karma gods didn't forget. Oh, man, I'm so glad you brought that up, Jordan. We just punked them in Lambeau. And they came out in the first quarter at Ford Field and jumped all over us. So I think 23 points in the first quarter. No, 23 points what they had total. We outscored them 16-9 down the last 3 quarters. So it was just the first quarter that they dominated us. And we weren't able to claw back out of the hole. Jordan Love won that game with his legs. And the Lions just kept trying and trying. They just couldn't catch him in the end. 16-9, we outscored them in the last 3 quarters. It was a defensive battle. It was a hard-fought game, the way it's always is between these two teams. It's going to be a barn burner. This game looming large coming up. The hype is going to be real all week. Can't wait to see the injury reports. Can't wait for Thursday when we get the practice reports and find out who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. We know that Malcolm Rodriguez isn't going to play, and it's 90% that Jordan Love is not going to play. We got some nice predictions in here. Jay Smooth's a good Packer fan. So it's going to be a nail biter, but go Pack, go. That's what he says. Kari says we win 21-20. So he says take Green Bay in the points and go Lions. The bad guy says Lions win by 18. I love that call, John. The way this offense is playing, if we come in and explode on Green Bay, like they're not going to know what's happening. Davey says 27-24. Don't bother wagering any money on this one.
This could be a good game. I think that this one's going to be one of those games that comes down to the last possession and smart coaching.
And how will Malik Willis do his first time playing the Lions, a team that passed on him repeatedly in the draft? Ken Fisher says, big difference in this year's team, in my opinion. We are definitely making the adjustments at halftime, especially scoring in the third quarter. And that's the offensive side. I think we're making adjustments defensively as well, much better than we did last year. Aaron Glenn's done a real nice job of making adjustments to the defense at halftime this year. Brent says, our defense looked soft Sunday. The Titans just quit. I see no lies here, Brent. There was times when the defense looked soft. Calvin Ridley torched us. Calvin Ridley, 10 catches, 143 yards. Mason Rudolph threw for 266 yards. We were able to get a couple INTs because he's Mason Rudolph. You're not going to get that against better quarterbacks if you're not getting pressure on them. Ken Fisher says, Lions 35, Packers 21. Love it. Donkey Kong preaching the gospel. Jerome Salter says, how long you got to set out if you got a groin injury? I didn't even know he was hurt. They're saying 2 to 3 weeks minimum is what they're saying. Can't wait to talk about this on Thursday with you, Russ, when we predict these games. But there is a game tonight. Don't forget, on Thursday on the Villain Report at 10 a.m. on this very network, we will be doing Prediction Thursday, where we make our predictions. And if you'd like to wager, you'll want to pay attention because my counterpart here, Russell Wayne, is the Swami. He picked 10 out of 5. He picked 10 out of 15 on Sunday. Go ahead, Russ.
Josh Pascal was a healthy scratch this week. And I know that he was doing some testing and some other things with his doctor and everything like that. But now that we're exploring this trade thing, maybe Josh Pascal might be involved in whatever they have going on with this, since he also didn't play and they want to risk injury on a trade piece if they were going to do that. And they let somebody else come up from the practice squad. Just something to think about over the next 24 hours.
Okay, I like it. So you're suggesting that possibly Josh Pascal could be the player thrown in with draft picks for a splash move.
Correct. I'm just noticing that he didn't play in this last game, and it was just for something weird. Like it was just for like a doctor testing or whatever excuse that they threw in there. It was like, oh,
right.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
We did see that with Josh Uche, was a healthy scratch for the Patriots. Yep. And then he was traded because they didn't want to take the chance of him getting injured before the trade. Right. Maybe that's what the healthy scratch for Pascal was. Did that just come to you? Because I haven't heard anyone float that suggestion yet.
I was just looking through the sideline report, and the sideline report talked about a potential trade target, and then they showed the Browns in there, and it was Darius Smith and Myles Garrett. And we've been over this. Hey, Browns, you need to free Myles Garrett. Your team is a dumpster fire, and your quarterback's going to cost you $72 million for the next 3 years. And that dude deserves to go compete for a championship somewhere. So if you're holding on to him, thinking you're going to rebuild around him, 3 years from now, you'll have a chance to start your rebuild. And Myles Garrett will be 32 years old. Free this man.
We're going to let
him bite kneecaps in Detroit.
Brent says, cardiac cats, 35-28 divisional games are difficult. True. I think them 3.5 points are just too many. This is going to be a dogfight. Thursday, we'll make our predictions on that game. Ken Fisher says, who's got the most right so far, Mike? You or Russell? Well, it's Russell. He's the Swami. Last week, Russell picked 10 out of 15, which is well above the best handicappers in the world can do. I only picked 8 out of 15. I was 8-7. Russ was 10-5. Tune in Thursdays for our predictions and our lock picks on the Villain Report at 10 a.m. But we do have a game tonight. So we're going to talk about that real quick as we start to close the show. I hear music in the background. I do. I hear it. There it is. It's soothing. Yeah. It's the New York Giants at the Pittsburgh Steelers for Monday Night Football tonight. The Steelers are a 6-point favorite. Russell Wilson, after going 1-0 as a starter as a Pittsburgh Steeler, makes his second debut here in front of the home crowd against the New York Giants. And Daniel Jones? Ugh. Devin Singletary?
It's my quarterback.
I don't think 6 points is enough here. The Giants do play good on Monday Night Football, and they got a lot of heart. They're well coached. But I'm going to have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers here and lay the 6 points. Russ, what do you got?
Yeah, it's been these Giants, man. These Giants. 6 points is a lot of points. You know I hate giving up points, but gosh, I like this Pittsburgh Steeler team, with a game-managing Russell Wilson, playing good defense. And New York's got some problems, man. Yeah, give me Pittsburgh. I'll lay the points. I don't like laying points like that, but...
Right. It's funny because I'm taking it, but my gut tells me the Giants, because they always play tough on Monday nights. Even when, what's his name, DeVito had to come in last year, they won when they were underdogs.
Yeah, but
they're on the road.
Daniel. You can force Danielson into mistakes. He's not very good, and Pittsburgh's pretty advantageous. They take advantage of bad quarterback play. Daniel Jones, he's bound to have a big turn game.
I believe Malik Neighbors is still out for this game as well. People like this suggestion for Josh Pascal. A similar piece for a similar piece. Better than trading our QB2 in picks, Russell. Yeah, for sure. I like that too, Russ. Pascal has showed some promise, and he's a high character guy. So he's the other player that you throw into the trade. Ken Fisher says Josh and 2 first-rounders for Crosby. Our first-rounders are like second-rounders because they're going to be so late in the first round. Absolutely.
That's true.
No doubt the Lions are going to be picking near the end of the first round. So you might have to give up more than 2 firsts and Pascal for that reason. You've been watching the Main Event Football Show with Main Event Mike on the Villain Squad Network. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for being in the comments. If you're watching this on a pre-recorded in the feed, we appreciate you as well. Hit that like emoji. Hit the heart emoji. Hit the vomit emoji. I don't care. Hit an emoji. It helps us. Just hit something. If you know, you know. Just click like. It doesn't cost you anything. And we really appreciate it. We're just a couple knuckleheads from mid-Michigan. And we're big Lions fans. And we aren't out here getting rich. But you can really help us out if you just click the like button. We appreciate you. For Russell Wayne, I'm Main Event Mike, saying God bless each and every one of you. We'll be back here next week, 7 p.m. Monday night, to talk about this victory over the Green Bay Packers. Until then, take care. One Pride.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. This your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.